and it looks like it's going to have to be modified straight out of the packet. What's unusual about that? After all that work on the turbo drain outlet and the plans that I had, none of that worked. I was missing this. Not much goes to waste in this garage. A long time ago I was working with this to build my bench, and at the time, I don't remember why, but I cut one of these into sections, and today I used one of those sections to make this little bracket. And what this does is it bolts to the side of the starter motor, and then I'm going to use a hose clamp on here to hold my drain hose where I want it, up out of the way and away from the drive shaft. Nothing complicated about it, but I thought I'd show you anyway, and then I'll show you it fitted. If I talk about it later, you can see what I'm talking about. As you can see, she's painted in the classic chassis black, but one thing I will do before fitting it is put some of this on. This is just your regular everyday heat shrink, but once it's on there, that'll add a little bit extra protection for the rubber hose on the metal, because it will be touching it. It might rub, so I'd prefer to have a little bit of this there. So 2 pieces of heat shrink on there. It's a nice rubbery surface for the hose to touch. Much better than metal, in my opinion. So we've got our flange here, our modified fitting. It's all bolted in. Perfect. Hose comes out. Just enough clearance. I'm happy with that. Here and here. Into a 90-degree fitting. Another 90-degree fitting along. Here you can see the blue of the bracket that I made on the starter motor. I decided to use zip ties here. Hose clamps were big and clunky. If they melt, well, they melt, and then I put some metal ones on there, I guess. We'll see. Then it goes along, hose goes along, and then into the engine. This hose here is a water hose. Previous to making this, the oil drain used to come out of here straight down and then be at a similar level to this and then pop back up and go into here. And I just didn't like that, because having the oil line so low, it actually hung lower than the engine mount here. Dangerous. This is much better in my opinion. I will put something in here to stop it from moving. It doesn't really move, but at the moment that's tapping on the starter motor. So maybe I need to run something from maybe the body up there. You see that white mark there? Maybe I put an L bracket on there running down to a zip tie that holds this locked in that location there. So there's no chance of it bouncing and hitting the drive shaft. But, I mean, that's not exactly difficult to do. Unbelievable. I was just working on this bracket to hold the oil line out of the way of the drive shaft. And, you know, you always hear people say, you know, always wear eye protection and all that other stuff. And I joke about it, but this drill bit just snapped. And, you know, it used to be about that long. This whole piece just flew straight at my head, skimmed my hair, and flew off into the abyss of the garage somewhere. Like, how on earth did it generate the force to fly from here on a completely different angle back at my head? Unbelievable. So yeah, wear your protection. Whew.